Daria, welcome to our podcast. We are very pleased and honored to have you here. And it is a very unique moment for us because we have not had a guest who has covered one of Angelina Jordan's songs. And so we will have a new way of having an interview with someone who has a new perspective on the world of Angelina Jordan. And first of all, tell us, are you hoping to become a professional singer? Or are you a professional singer? Or are you having a university education as a backup?
First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm so pleased. And now, responding to your question, I just finished music high school, and now I'm a student at Music University in Bucharest. I just started university, and I started studying jazz, and it's something quite interesting. Yeah.
Studying jazz.
Yes, jazz.
Wow. Okay. Because you probably know that Angelina Jordan is primarily a jazz singer.
I
And
know this.
we who know her think that she is primarily a jazz singer more than anything else.
Yes, I say this too. I listen to most of her songs, and I noticed the jazz influence in all of her songs. And I think jazz helped her a lot in her career.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to find out how you first discovered Angelina. But first off, let's hear a little bit about your background. How old are you and when did you start with music?
I am 19 years old. I'm from Romania, and I started singing when I was 6 years old in a choir. I think, as most of singers in a choir. And I think after 3 years, I decided that I wanted to start my solo career. And since I was 9, I started singing solo and working on my music career. I released in 2021 my first jazz album, and I have it here. Yeah, it's called A Taste of Jazz, and it has 11 songs, 11 jazz standards, and some of them Angelina sings them. You can see
Yeah.
them here, like Fly Me to the Moon and many other songs.
Daria, I have a question for you. I don't know that much about jazz, but I know it's what I would call music which is not so well defined. You have a lot of options in jazz, as I understand it. How is jazz taught? How do they teach jazz?
I think it depends on school, on the school we are talking about, because I finished music high school in Bucharest, and I was studying jazz with my teacher. He was asking me what song would you like to do for our class. I would tell him what song I wanted, and after that we started listening to different versions of it to understand how the song sounds, and then we look at the score of the song and analyze it, and it's a pretty complex process, but mainly on listening to many versions of the songs to understand the essence of it, what's the message, the tonality, and many other details.
The way I understand jazz, there's no right or wrong. In other words, however you wish to interpret, that's what jazz is. Is that how you understand it too?
Yes, it is. And I feel like jazz music is so nice for singers. I feel like jazz has a lot of liberty in expressing your feelings. You can improvise, you can do whatever you want in the song, and you can express your feelings. I think this is the best way I can say it. And it leaves you the liberty to do it.
But I'm so fascinated about your background. You said you started singing when you were 6,
Yes.
is that right?
Yes.
Do you come from a musical family, or what was it that triggered this interest?
I don't come from a music family. My father is a lawyer, so it's nothing related to music. But I was a hyperactive kid, as I think most of the kids. And my parents decided to enroll me at, we call it, in Romanian, we call it children's club, where you can learn different things, how to sing, how to paint, how to dance, and many other activities. And I studied a lot of things. And there was a music class, And I always wanted to go there, but my parents were like, "You don't know how to sing. I never heard you singing. I don't think you can sing, but you can try." And I begged my mom to let me go there. And it was something, I don't know, I think God wanted me to go there, because it was something that came like this. At 6 years old, it came out of nowhere, and I want to believe that God led me to music. When I was 9 years old, I realized that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I decided to leave the choir and to start my solo career and to invest in my music career.
Wow. And how did you start your musical career? What step did you take to become a singer?
I started taking music classes, and I started working on many songs. I started studying music theory to become better at this. And in the 9th grade, I started studying at music high school in Bucharest, and I studied jazz there too. And I learned a lot of things in the high school, such as jazz history, music history, theory, and many other music subjects.
How does all that knowledge help you in your singing?
It helped me become a professional singer, because for a long time I was singing not by reading the music or understanding. I was learning songs by ear. And after I finished high school, I became a professional singer.
Do you mean you can read notes and everything like that?
Yeah, and I started learning songs by notes and singing them by notes. Yeah.
Do you play any instrument?
Unfortunately not, but I wanted to start studying piano.
Because if you have a base in Romania, it must be a very big and difficult step for you then to have an international base beyond Romania. How did that work?
As you said, it's hard, but nothing is impossible. And I want to believe that if I want something, I can achieve it. And I need to work harder than singers from America or from other states. But everything is possible, I want to believe.
When did you come across Angelina Jordan?
I think I found out about her when I was, 11 years old. So a long time ago. I was always seeing her on Facebook and her covers on Facebook. And since then, I can say I remained a fan of her, because I really enjoyed her way of singing and all the songs that she performed and her versions of the songs.
Yeah. Because what made you decide to cover her song, Love Don't Let Me Go?
I think it was something spontaneous. I was on TikTok and I saw her song, and I was like, oh my God, I really like this song and I really want to do a cover of this song. And I listened to it multiple times for multiple days, and I fell in love with it, and I said that I want to record this too and I want to make a cover of it. It was something spontaneous. I found it, I listened to it for some days because I fell in love with the song, and after that I recorded it.
Do you think this is a good moment to have a little snippet of Daria's performance and then Angelina's performance? And then Daria can tell us what she hears in Angelina's performance, because she has specially professional jazz ears, and I'm sure she hears things that you and I and many of the other fans will not hear when Angelina Jordan sings. And so we will have the benefit of your jazz education.
Okay, sure.
Mistakes and regrets ain't all that I have left, but your touch and innocence still on my skin. Maybe I'm a fool to erase the trace of you. There's no you, no me, at least that's how I feel. I'm trying to pull you closer to me, but it's just like trying to get small. Love, I really wish you had a face. Maybe I could beg for you to stay. I'm on the floor, I'm begging, oh, oh, oh.
Okay, I lost myself there a little bit. It was so good.
It's easy to lose yourself.
I really like the tone you have there, Daria.
Thank you so
And
much.
and particularly in the place where you say smoke, you have a really nice vibrato going on there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And Daria, I was really enjoying the way that you were swept up with the music, even listening to yourself. It was like you were riding the waves like a surfer does.
Yeah.
I could really see that you were taken up with the music. Let me ask you something. What I hear with your version, and I hear with Angelina very often, is you have a little shaking, a little vibrato in your
Vibrato,
voice.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Is that something that you learn, or is that something that you want to put into every performance? Is that important with jazz?
For me, the vibrato comes naturally. I don't think about it. So it's something natural. But I know many singers that for them, this vibrato is not so easy to use. So I think it depends on the singer. But for myself, it comes naturally. I don't think about it. I just
Okay.
sing and it comes.
So every song you sing, you have vibrato.
I think so. I never thought about this.
Okay, okay.
Let me just enter a little bit what I know, Alan. I took singing lessons. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Nice.
I knew that.
Yeah, this was like a few months ago. I got this crazy idea that I got so inspired by listening to Angelina singing so beautifully that I must try singing. So I hooked up with one of the many voice coaches that does reaction videos to Angelina's music. I took a few lessons, and in one of those lessons, I tried myself to do a little vibrato. And she says, "Oh no, that comes naturally."
So I was right. Yes.
Exactly.
And did you like the classes?
Yeah, it was nice. You get quite a different sense of what it takes
Yes.
to sing. And one of the things she's explained to me was you shouldn't put too much effort in it. It's like you're initiating something, and it's like the vibration of your larynx that does the job.
Yeah.
It's just all a matter of initiating the vibration and just letting the air do its thing.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the things that I find fascinating about Angelina, and I know a lot of people do, that she looks very relaxed, and it's so easy for her. And of course, we know it's not easy,
Yeah.
but it looks very, very relaxed. My teacher also said everything from here and up should be totally relaxed. So you should
Yes.
almost like you've been to the dentist and everything is like
Yeah.
hanging loose.
Otherwise, the sounds will not be the right ones, and they will sound
yeah.
stiff and sound like you are out of breath. So yeah, you need to be relaxed when you sing.
Daria, when you perform, is it something where you have a lot of adrenaline, or do you find a liberating experience, or are you relaxed? Because
Good question.
we know, like with Angelina Jordan, very often she will close her eyes and she will go inside of herself. What is your experience when you sing?
I am a pretty full of energy person, and before I get to stage, I'm very anxious, and I am like, oh my god, I want everything to be good, and I'm very stressed because I'm a perfectionist. And when I get on the stage, I'm like, and every worry, every piece of stress, it goes away, and I relax, and most of my performances are with my eyes closed. So it's like I'm singing to myself, but also to everyone around me. It's an interesting experience. At the beginning, full of different emotions. When I get on stage, I'm relaxed and everything is peaceful.
I'm thinking maybe this singing when you were a child and you said you were pretty full of energy and hyperactive. Yeah? Was singing almost like a therapy to you, that it helped you in a way?
Yes, and I believe this 100%. When I was on stage, I was a complete different person. I was not the same Daria, the hyperactive one. I was so calm, so peaceful. I was a different person, and Everyone that knew me were like, what happens when you get on stage? Before I was singing, I was running, I was doing all kinds of stuff. So when I was on stage, I was like zen, peaceful. And everyone was like, what's happening with you? Yes, and as a small detail, many people told me that I was an old soul trapped in a young body, and my voice was from an old soul. It was not my voice, and somebody else was singing like an angel, and everyone was telling me this, and I was like, okay, if you say so. I feel this, but when you say it, it's something different. So when I was singing, I was a different person.
Because we have the concept that for the listener, music can be therapy, but you have just introduced us to the concept that for the singer, music is therapy also. Because I have had the impression that Angelina Jordan must sing. It is, if she didn't sing, she would collapse as a person. She must sing to survive. And that really is what many artists do. Many artists must create to feed their soul and to thrive.
Yeah. And to get rid of all the emotions trapped in their body and in their mind, in their soul.
Yeah.
So yes, I believe that music is therapy for the singer and for the listener too.
Music as a concept is very interesting. We're the only species on Earth, unless you count, of course, singing birds, but really participating in music and creating art in that way.
Yeah.
And that is so fascinating, I think, what it means. And this goes back to when we were living in caves, basically.
Yeah.
So the tradition is so long of singing and what it means to sing in a choir or people singing to their child. Is that something you learned about in school
yes,
too?
Yes, of course, yeah. They taught us the beginning of music from prehistory, prehistorical era, and the evolution of music. It began with tribal music, and it evolved to what we hear now at the radio and everything. They taught us a lot of interesting things, and how instruments were made out of wood, out of bones, out of different materials, or just with stones, by clicking to stones. And it was something fascinating to learn how music was born and where we are now. The evolution is amazing, and it's something that I think many people should know about.
I don't know that much about music, but if I had a guess about the evolution of music, I would say music communicates heightened emotion. It is a way of capturing heightened emotion, whether you're happy or sad or angry. And I think that originally may have been something to do with the nature of how music arrived. For example, in English we say, you sing with joy, you sing for joy.
Yes, that's true.
And you said you were 19 years old now?
Yes, I'm 19, yes.
So Angelina is 17, so you're almost like the same age as Angelina.
Yes.
So what do you think about what she's accomplished and what she's done? Do you see the because I see very much parallels between your life and her life. How do you see that?
I believe that she's having a beautiful evolution. I've been listening to her for many years, and I remember I first saw her, I think, at Norway's Got Talent when I think she was 7 years, and I believe, as you said, that we have many things in common, and who knows what the future holds for both of us, and I hope amazing things for both of us.
Will you be moving to California too?
I would like, if God would want this, I would like, and if the stars will align, of course.
I'm interested in when you first discovered Angelina. You said you were 11 when you first saw her. What did you think of another child doing the same thing as you're doing? How did that feel?
I was fascinated and I loved it. I'm that kind of a person when I see someone even more talented than me, I like to support them and to say that maybe I can be like them and work to become like them. So I'm a supportive person and I appreciate talent and art. I was pleased to discover such a beautiful voice.
I was a little bit older when I discovered her. I was like over 50. But still, she became like a role model to me for just being the person that she is. That side of her, what are your thoughts about that?
I think I like her singing. I like the way she acts. I like many things about her. And I feel like she has a combination of Amy Winehouse and Billie Holiday in her voice. There is a combination of these two singers. And these two singers are two of my role models too. As you said, I feel like we have many things in common. And I appreciate the way of her singing, the way that she expresses her feelings. And I think we are pretty similar in this.
When you learn music in school, do they focus on specific singers like Billie Holiday and Amy Winehouse? Do they talk in detail about that? Or is that just your personal favorite without any influence from school?
Just my personal preference, not influence from school.
Okay. Now, Pontus, maybe we can hear one of the songs from Angelina Jordan, and maybe Daria can tell us what she hears. We can hear either Love Don't Let Me Go, or Daria also covered Back to Black, and Angelina's version might be of interest. And I just found out 1 hour ago that Daria also sang Dream a Little Dream, and Angelina
Yes.
Jordan also has an a cappella cover of that. So we have a choice.
Yeah, and of course I put a spell on you, which you did when you were
Yes.
very young.
I think I was 10 years old. Yeah, I think
so,
10 years old.
Let's listen a little bit to Angelina's Love Don't Let Me Go.
Mistakes and regrets ain't all that I have left. 'Cause your touch and your sense still on my skin. Maybe I'm a fool to erase the trace of you. 'Cause no, you know me, at least that's how I feel. I'm trying to pull you closer to me, but it's just like trying to catch smoke. Love, I really wish you had a face. Maybe I could beg for you to stay. I'm on the floor, I'm begging, oh, love, don't let me go. If only I could look you in the eye, there wouldn't be no place for you to hide. I'm on the floor, I'm begging, oh, love, don't let me go. If you had a heart, I could make it beat for me. If you had a soul, I know where my home would be.
It was so hard not to sing. Oh my God.
Sing
I
along.
was so tempted to start to sing.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a musician. I'm just a fan of Angelina Jordan. But to me, it sounds like with every word she comes to, she makes a different choice. She makes a different decision. One word will be soft, the next word will be loud, and then the third word will be different again, and the fourth word will. Every word is different.
Yes, and I like this about her. She knows how to express the message of the song. She's not just singing the lyrics. She feels every word, and she knows how to express every emotion that this song is supposed to give to you. And she changes the tempo, how the words should come out, or how harsh, and everything, the vibrato, as you said. I like her way of singing. It looks like it's easy, but it is not easy, trust me. It's something interesting to listen to her and to understand how she sings. And she's a very good singer and professional one. And she knows what she's doing.
There's a special quality in her voice, the way the words are almost breaking up a little bit. It's not clean, it's more like it's rough. And we had one guest on our podcast who said she can do the quiver hum.
I don't know this word.
No, she just invented it.
2 words, quiver and hum.
I
Quiver
understood
hum.
him.
Okay.
But it's really very hard to emulate. That's something that is just in her
Yes.
voice, in her vocal
It
cords, I
comes
think.
naturally for her.
Yeah.
Daria, it's one thing when you listen to Angelina Jordan, you enjoy it as much as everyone else does. But
Yeah.
do you learn when you hear her sing? Is it something that you are then able to use yourself for your music?
Well, for example, I like her. I don't know which one of these two words is the right one. Crispy voice or raspy voice? I think raspy voice is the right one.
Yeah, raspy.
Raspy voice, okay. And this is something that I like about her, and I try to do myself too, because I'm used to singing more like a natural way of singing, but she took this from Amy Winehouse mostly to have a raspy voice, like a smoker voice, but she's not smoking, of course. A different kind of voice, and that's something that I really like, and I try to use in my way of singing too.
Okay. So I understood that the vibrato is something you either have or not have. And what about the raspiness? Is the raspiness something that you can learn if you don't have it?
I believe, yeah, some of the singers are born with this raspy voice, such as Angelina, and some musicians or singers are getting this raspy voice for singing a lot or singing not in the right way, because it affects
The larynx.
yes, the larynx. And some of them are getting this raspy voice from smoking. It can come naturally or in an artificial way.
Do you know the Scottish singer Rod Stewart? Are you?
Of course.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you.
So you would say he has a raspy voice, wouldn't you?
Yes, and I think for him it's a natural raspy voice.
Yeah.
And there's also Bonnie Taylor.
Of
Yeah.
course,
She has
yeah.
also that kind of voice, yeah. But let's listen a little bit to Amy Winehouse and how she sounds in Back to Black, which you, of course, you also covered, as well as Angelina.
He left no time to regret. Kept his way with his same old safe bet. Me and my head high and my tears dry. Get on without my guide. You went back to what you know, so far removed from all that we went through. And I tread a troubled track. My odds are stacked. I go back to black. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her, and I go back to.
Yeah,
Strumming my
sorry.
pain.
With his
Yeah.
fingers. Song two.
Pontus, you know what might be good right now is to play Daria's version of Back to Black, and she can talk about the contrast of what Amy Winehouse does and what she does, and she can talk about what she hears with Amy and then what decisions she's made accordingly.
And I can sing a little bit if you want.
Yes, we want that. How are you with a cappella?
It's amazing for me. I was singing just a little bit and I took a little,
Yeah.
so I can hear
Please,
myself.
please.
I left no time to regret. Kept his lips wet with his same old safe bet. Me and my head high, and my tears dry. Get on without my guy.
This is great. This is
Thank
great.
you.
This
My
is the
God.
best example you can give of how good you are. Because when someone just does it like that, a cappella of such quality. Okay, I think we need more a cappella from you immediately.
Sure, I'm ready to sing.
Okay, do some of the other songs that you covered from Angelina. Do Dream a Little Dream.
Okay, so let's see. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore trees. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me. I like singing.
Great, great.
Thank you.
This is wonderful, Daria, because you are giving us such a clear demonstration of music as a calling. It is like God has come down and touched you on the forehead and said, you will be a
Yes.
singer. This is your gift. And it is really clear over these last 10 and 20 minutes, especially when you have reached into your a cappella repertoire.
Thank
Really.
you so much.
Thank
I'm happy
you.
that you like it.
No, this is wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not sure where we go from here. Still in shock.
I can sing more songs if you want.
Yes, we want. Do you want to sing Fly Me to the Moon?
I can sing a little bit. Let's see. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
Oh dear, this is great and this is fun and
For
this
me
is
too.
this is the most impressive thing you can do. I'm glad we found out that you are relaxed to do a cappella. This has been great. I have another question for you. How do you find singing in English compared to singing in Romanian? Do you find that singing in Romanian is easier, or are you bilingual, that it's like your left hand and right hand?
I think it's the second option for me. It's pretty easy for me to sing in English, and yeah, it's easy. It's easy. It comes naturally.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
And what part do you think is the most challenging when it comes to covering a song? How do you prepare for something like that? The lyrics is one part of it, and we see in some of Angelina's videos that she's looking to the side and
Yeah.
reading the lyrics at the same time as she's singing.
We vocalists, when we are learning a song, we should focus on two things: the lyrics and the melodical line. And I like to start by understanding the lyrics, analyzing the lyrics, and understand what I want to express with these lyrics and how I want to express these words. And after that, I start working on the melodical line, to see what's the correlation between the lyrics and the music, because you can't you can't hear a sad instrumental and the lyrics to be happy. So, and I try to understand what's the correlation between these two, and after that try to, how should I say, to give personal version of the song, because I'm not a fan of singing the exact version as the original. I want to express myself and I want to show my personal style too. Of course, I will take into consideration the original version, but I want to be, how should I say, I want every song that I sing to be personal, to express my way of singing and my way of understanding the song.
Good explanation. Daria, if you are singing a sad song, do you try and get into a sad mood before you sing the song?
Yes, I need to prepare mentally for every song. So for a sad song, I need to be in a different mood. I need to be relaxed. I need to not have so much energy to focus on the words. It's a complex process with each song. And for myself, it's easy to switch from a happy song to a sad one, but it's hard to jump from a happy song and then to start singing a sad one. And it's like this, but...
Okay. Maybe we can end this podcast with you going into a sad mood and singing us a sad song. Do you think that would be possible?
Sure. Yeah. Let me think of a sad song. I think I will sing Summertime because it's a jazz standard. I think I will sing two songs. I think
yeah.
it's the best. Summertime and the living, it's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your date is rich and your mind's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. And now the second song. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers. Where there used to be rain, my yesterday was blue, dear. And I think these songs are pretty different.
Amazing.
I
That's
hope
so
it sounded
great.
okay, because I heard myself twice and it was something like, okay.
The only regret I have is that the microphone is not better. You should be in a studio when you're
Well, I have all
singing
my
like
musical equipment in my room, but it was short notice.
Yeah.
So next time I will sing
Next time,
on better sound.
Yes. Did
Daria,
you get a tear in your eye, Alan?
yeah.
What?
I
got
have a tear.
Oh,
You made me sad.
yeah. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. Daria, it's been a wonderful hour. It's been a revelation, and this has worked on so many levels. We have understood the nature of jazz. We've understood the nature of music. We've understood how it is taught. We have heard your a cappella skill. We have heard you talk about what Angelina Jordan can do. We have had quite an hour, quite a ride. Wonderful.
I'm happy to hear this. And I hope that you understood me, because as I told you, my English is a little bit dusted.
It works fine. No problem.
Thank you, Daria. You've been great.
Thank you.
Thank you very
so
much.
And again, thank you so much for the invitation. It was such a beautiful hour.
And we hope you get a phone call from Hollywood.
Oh
Yes.
my God. I
Yeah.
wish. And I
Yes.
hope.
Okay.
Thank you.
You take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.